My friend's stepdaughter threw a tantrum and everyone blames me.
As they should.
I'm 55 female. Met my friend's stepdaughter to be 14 yesterday. I introduced myself and I told her it was nice to meet her. Is it? I had heard that she was amazing by multiple people and I was looking forward to meeting her. She ignored me and didn't answer. I thought maybe she didn't hear me, so I repeated. She put in earbuds to emphasize that she is ignoring me and she walked off.
Damn!
I mean,
stone cold, angsty teenager vibes. Gotta respect it.
Angsty teen vibes.
Come on.
You know. I hate my mom. It's giving that.
And I hate my dad.
Ooh. So she's deliberately being rude and apparently doesn't care to meet me. Not my future stepdaughter. She doesn't have to like me. Her choice. I chose not to be a part of the drama. But we did choose this story from Sunflower 971 and it came from r/okstorytime. If you want your story read, drop it in there, okay?
It's giving Disney episode.
This one?
Yeah. Because stepdad and stepdaughter getting along. Does Disney do that or Nickelodeon?
I don't know.
I think that's...
You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. But when I think of like I feel like stepmom and like Cinderella. You know, like that's like the Disney dynamic that I know about.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking like Zach and Cody, but we're more like Cinderella.
Oh, wait.
She wasn't a stepmom.
Wait, who's the stepmom and stepdad in Zach and Cody?
There is none.
Oh, okay.
Just their single bio mom.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Lame.
With my brothers. One day we'll put a side by side with the three of us. Maybe we'll get them as a guest one day.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Maybe we could.
See. We'll cook. We'll cook. Anyways, let's get back to the story. So we all went to dinner as planned. There were a total of 9 of us, and I unfortunately ended up seated next to her at the table. Wonderful dinner, aside from her ignoring everyone equally. Anyways, I asked her to please pass the ketchup when she was done using it. She ignored me and set it just out of my reach after she used it. Oh, this is top tier teen angst right here, boy.
Dude, it's so funny though.
This smells like teen spirit. So I reached over her to get it. She started yelling at me for getting in her personal space. I told her that I'd asked her twice and she had ignored me both times. See, you're playing, you gotta fight fire with these kids, but I digress. We'll see what happens.
What, put the ketchup away from her?
You're gonna be like, you just emotionally attacked me. You invaded my emotions.
Whoa.
How about that?
Yeah, dude. Inside out.
Beat you at your own game, son. I'd kind of had it at that point. I then added that next time to simply pass the ketchup or don't be upset when someone reaches for it. She went into complete meltdown mode. Now, apparently to some, I am the bad guy here, as she is a child. A few others thought that I handled it well. So am I the a-hole here, or is my friend's future stepdaughter a mess? I'm literally posting it on an am I the a-hole over a ketchup incident. If you were wondering, she is not on the spectrum. I am. Why? And that's why I'm asking. Thank you. A quick edit for clarification. I wasn't clear about the 9 of us that went out to the dinner. It was a combination of adults and teenagers. Adults at one table, teens at a connecting table. Adults sat first, kids filled in, and she was the last person seated. Now we have relevant comments, and we have a big fat update 2 days later, 48 hours after where we at in this moment of time. But first off, we have to answer OP's question. Is OP the a-hole for snapping back at the angsty teen?
I mean, did he really snap back that much?
Dude, first off, this angsty teen is an angsty teen.
Ultimate angst.
Second off, it's so obvious. It is, if what OP is saying is true, it is so obvious that this teen is just like messing with them and like creating these moments.
Yeah, it's like the she's like poking the bear, and she's doing it in a funny way. It's pretty funny.
It is tragically hilarious.
Like moving the ketchup bottle just a little out of reach, asking a question, and then putting headphones in. Like, it is definitely rude, but kind of hilarious to the point where she feels like the archetype of what an angsty teen would look like. If Hollywood was like, yes, get me an angsty teen, they would pick her.
This is top tier trolling.
Top tier.
Which I mean,
I like to the point where I kind of respect it. Like, it's a bad idea, but it's so perfectly executed to the point where I'm like, damn, respect.
Michael Jordan of trolling. Listen, when you love the game that much, when you do it for the love of the game, this is a stranger.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing that she gains from doing this. It's just because it's like her passion.
This is for the love of the game right here.
Yeah.
Can you fault it?
Can you fault it? I don't think so.
It's hard.
I don't think so.
It's hard. But in all seriousness, so OP not
the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Obviously, this 14-year-old kid is the a-hole, but you know, a lot of 14-year-old kids are.
What do we do?
What do you do? I think you try to out-petty her. You try to go, you lower yourself to the teenage level, much like that. Sorry, I'm not Cody Co. Morally. You know that I didn't say it.
But you tried.
Mentally.
But still,
feel bad. Feel terrible.
You can get out of it.
Awful.
I don't think you can get out
but
of
let
it.
me save you here, pal.
Thanks. Pull me out of this hole.
I know we're joking, but I honestly think that like if you fight fire with fire in this situation, because I truly honestly believe that she's like, oh, look at this freaking 55.
Oh, dude,
bro,
gross.
you are such a boomer.
You're so old.
You're such a boomer, and
in
like,
her eyes, 55-year-olds are like basically my people these days.
and apparently mine, according to everyone on the show.
It's been yours, buddy.
Yeah, point in case.
It's been yours, buddy.
So I think, and we're at more of an advantage because like we're younger. We talk to the youth.
Yeah, we know about the youth.
Like,
we know about the skippies.
We can fight fire with fire. Actually, I might take back my advice, because what if OP tries to do it and just comes off as such a boomer trying to use
like the teenage
lingo,
angst moves?
You know what I mean?
No, dude, I just think you ignore her. I literally just
That's what you do.
like that doesn't go out of style. You know, ignoring kids have been ignoring parents from the beginning of time. Old people from the beginning of time. You read ancient texts from Greece, and the old people are like, damn, kids these days, they always have their nose in the scroll. You know, like, it's like, people have been, the old have been at war with the young since the age, like the end of time. And I think the only move here is to just ignore.
Put in your head.
Yeah.
When
Yeah. Put in
for the
your
ketchup.
Headphones. Yeah. Put the ketchup, squeeze the ketchup into your ears.
Analogies. But guys, we have some relevant comments.
Just so cute with your shirts. I just loved it.
Thank you, dude. You know,
Gosh.
chew on this. If we did this at a, if we wore this at like VidCon or the events that we're going to, and we approached people as we do, overbearing or intriguing?
Like a trademark. It's giving the orange polo vibe.
Oh, it totally is.
Because like, oh, we're the matching shirt guys. They will remember us.
Are these
That is such a good point.
our orange polos?
Dude, how
These
we have
could
evolved.
be our new orange polos.
And I won't look like a assistant coach at a community college football team anymore.
No, although that did work for you.
It was
giving.
it had a time.
It's giving vibes.
It's giving vibes.
It's giving vibes.
But let's give these relevant commenters a chance to say their piece. So, a commenter says, what did you say / do? If the stepdaughter acts like this towards her too, then the marriage is doomed before it starts. And OP responds, my friend pretty much froze. She wasn't aware of the issue earlier, just heard her melt down. She adores this girl. I don't want to cause an issue between them. I didn't really put my friend on the spot. Yeah, this kind of could be tricky because this is a newly forging stepdaughter-daughter relationship, which is stepmom-stepdaughter relationship. That can be tricky.
Tricky.
Someone asking someone else to pass. OP says, I was annoyed from earlier, but let it go. Had she not been rude earlier, I likely would have gotten the ketchup anyways. A seating arrangement meant that no one else would be able to pass it. Another commenter says, not the a-hole. What is her problem? She seems like a brat and not in the good new summer way.
Yeah.
OP says, no clue. My friends are much younger than I am. Maybe she doesn't like grandmothers. Oh, dude, OP's also a grandmother. That just adds to the boomer allegations.
To the boom.
It adds to the boom.
Yeah, dude. The boom is loud.
Yeah. Another commenter says she relishes the drama. OP says,
nice ketchup relish.
Ooh. Nice.
Condiments.
This guy hosts a show. OP says, light bulb. You are so right. I literally didn't think of it like that, but you are so right. She went from invisible to being a center of attention. Bingo. Thanks for your laughs, Riley.
The way you said that.
What's that
so
from
good.
again?
I don't know. It was
Light
funny.
bulb. It's from a thing. Anyways,
Sounds like Despicable
Edison?
Me.
not Edison.
I mean, it was
It's a movie.
Yeah.
Well, technically.
The Despicable Me. Despicable Me.
Yeah.
Light bulb.
Yes, there it is. Thank you. Commenter says, exactly. She was invisible, last to be seated, but I doubt these are her main worries at the moment. A 14-year-old soon-to-be stepdaughter? For this not to be a minefield would be strange. You are a friend of her soon-to-be stepmother, meeting her for the first time. What does it mean to say she had heard that she was amazing, quote unquote? To me, it seems ingratiating and patronizing. I say a mild you're the a-hole because you seem completely unaware of how this poor child made. Opie responds, I get that it's a minefield now. I just didn't realize there were so many live mines that no one knew were there. Responding to my comment about saying that I heard she was amazing, you aren't the first to question it. It wasn't meant in any way other than a statement of fact. I've heard many great things about her from her soon-to-be stepsisters. She may have felt invisible, but I don't know why she would. Maybe you're right, and I am clueless. She was at the dinner with members of her family and my friend and her teens. Not her teens. That's, bro, the boomer allegations are just growing.
her teens.
Her teens. And my friend and her teens.
My friend and her teens.
Her teen friends, I guess.
Yeah.
The
These
allegations.
youths.
These youths. The youths.
The youths. I hate them. They're always coming up with new slang.
They're TikToking.
They're
You feel left out?
TikToking. I do feel left out. I don't know the skibbities. I'm just out of the loop. The world's moving so fast, and I'm not catching up.
How does one skibidi goon on their edge case?
Yacht.
On the yacht.
I'm a baby Gronk yacht.
Oh yeah, come on.
So fun to talk like that.
It's just so fun. Sorry guys, I know we know you
They
hate.
hate
We
it.
know you hate it. Thank you for indulging. We will stop now. So I tagged along at my friend's invite to the dinner, but thanks for the input. Another commenter says, don't take it personally. It's 100% non-personal and don't judge her too harshly. She's probably in a very confused period of her life, which in fairness, 14-year-olds in the new step-parent relationship, I
Yeah,
can see
dude.
the angst brewing.
Also, all right, even if you have a very, comfortable, solid, unchanging family dynamic, the changes going on inside a 14-year-old's body are amazing and scary.
The hormones be hormoning.
The hormones be hormoning.
That's what happens. Great time for Anthony to walk in. Opie says, thank you. I don't, as in don't judge her too harshly. As far as judging her harshly, I intend on ignoring her in the future. If she approaches me at a later date, I will be kind. I see a lot of your comments got downvoted. Wasn't by me. Wasn't me. It seems that you have a kind heart and perhaps are looking through different understanding eyes. I'm on the spectrum. Thus, I don't mind criticism when I'm wrong, nor do I mind differences of opinion. Why the post asking? Glad most people said not the a-hole. I'm not looking for approval here, just that I acted accordingly. She most definitely is in a confused state right now. Personally, not a fan, but not worth holding a grudge either. Thanks. And I'm going to go down to this final relevant comment down here. Commenter says, not the a-hole. She was being deliberately rude or else possibly on the spectrum. I have to wonder what was the meltdown about. Opie responds that her space was violated. I reached to get the ketchup, but did not touch her. The comments I read, the more I'm realizing the meltdown definitely wasn't about the ketchup. I truly hope the family works everything out. A lot from behind the scenes is coming out. Yeah, once again, I think OP has had, before we get to this update, real quick, I think OP has a very fair and metered response. She's like, I don't hold it personally, but I'm also just going to like not engage and kind of just like distance. It seems like it's a tumultuous time.
And
out.
I also think he's like learning a lot in these posts. Like he's going to Reddit to learn right now. And
Yes.
I think that one comment that got downvoted, it's like, oh, look at it through her perspective. There's a lot changing. So like I feel really, maybe he was like a little bit behind in understanding, but he's finally catching up.
That's right. OP is also a woman, 55 female.
55 female.
Fun fact for you. So just pretend he said she. So, guys, OP was voted not the a-hole. Not the a-hole for invading the space to grab the ketchup. Let it be known near and wide. Now let's get into this update 2 days, 48 hours later. Thank you for your comments. It put a lot of different things into perspective for me. I've debated what to say to my friend and her fiance about what happened, posting this here and laying this to rest. A few things for clarification. I am a grandmother. There is no more to the story on my end, a lot more on hers. I walked into an unknown minefield. My friend called me a few hours ago, I'm assuming, to apologize. There was a huge blow up that night when they got back home. I had driven separately to the restaurant. My friend's fiance handled the situation. He asked her to explain what happened in her words. Apparently, he had overheard me ask her for the ketchup before she exploded. She explained that I'm a boomer bish. Did we not call it?
We did. We called it.
Albeit not the bish part, the boomer part, the allegations were real strong.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like this bomb is going to be dropped, and we just heard the boom.
That's true. So
let's take a quick pause on this story right here. Gotta tell you something.
Okay.
I've been reading so many stories.
We were calculating it, actually.
Yeah. 72,800. No, 80.
8,600 minutes.
I'm starting to feel the effects.
Like what?
My lips are cracking.
Oh, no.
Because I have to open my mouth every day.
Oh, God.
My eyes are drying up.
I would cry for you, but I can't.
I have no tears left to cry.
Is there anything we can do to possibly help heal your ailments?
There's one.
What is it?
ZocDoc.
ZocDoc! ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and choose the right one for your needs and click instantly to book an appointment.
We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty. From mental health to dental health, eye care to skin care, and much more.
You can filter your doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, who are a good fit for any medical need that you might have, and who are highly rated by verified patients.
You can also see their actual appointment openings, choose a time that works for you, and click to instantly book a visit.
Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast! Lickety-split. Typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking, you can even score some same-day appointments. It's pretty great, right?
Pretty amazing.
Listen, Sophia, I use ZocDoc, we use ZocDoc. You should freaking use it too, guys. Use ZocDoc.
So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/OKOP to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/OKOP, ZocDoc.com/OKOP. Let's get back into the show. She hates that she will have to share a bedroom. She hates that her dad is getting remarried. She hates the dress that she has to wear at the wedding. She hates that everyone except her loves her stepmother to be. She hates that her stepsisters are prettier. She hates everything. Her dad explained that he loves her, but he also loves my friend, and that the wedding is happening. My friend ended with that. No clue what their next move is, but I am out of it. It's not my place. I don't know if she's showing signs prior to that no one noticed. I feel for her. I do. I feel for all of them. My friend and her daughters are like family to me. Her fiance is a good man too. I had been told the stepdaughter really was a great kid. Why I'm wondering if this was it's part of why I'm wondering if this was her first outburst. I truly hope her stepsisters didn't hear some bad things that she had to say about them. I don't care what she thinks of me. I do care that they all have a lot to deal with before October, I'm presuming when the wedding is. I'll avoid her in the future. If she does need to have a villain in her story to cope, fine. But dang, just pass the ketchup. Boomer Bish, over and out.
Ooh, fire.
Dude, closing it out.
Kind of got some class, Boomer.
Honestly, got some class. We do have some relevant comments, but let's close out here with our closing thing, which, by the way, you can check us out live every weekday at 3 p.m.
Ooh.
Tap our freaking profile.
Do it.
And join it. But did OP handle this situation correctly?
I feel like there's just not a recognition of what it's like to be 14. I feel like Not that this 14-year-old shouldn't be taken seriously, but I feel like I saw a bunch of comments in the chat where it's like, yeah, she's 14.
Yeah.
Like this is just what like 14-year-olds hate everything and don't want to talk to you.
I have a seemingly hot take at the surface that is actually not a hot take when I get into it. The husband and the stepmom to be, so OP's friends, I think they're the a-holes. For
not like parenting the kid?
Yeah, because specifically because, and I'll try to find the spot, but basically when she was like, you know, I hate that I have to wear this wedding dress. I hate that the stepsisters are prettier than me. I hate like all of these things. There were some things in that list. Like if I'm the parent, I'm like, hey, what would make you excited to like wear at the wedding? Like, do you want to wear, I don't know, do you want to wear like a Nirvana hoodie? I don't know, whatever the kids are into.
What are the kids into?
What are these kids into?
Skibbity toilet merch?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. For me, like, I'm just like, and could we make something fun of it? I don't know. I think there's like ways to reach out to and just to understand that she's going through a tumultuous time. And like, I don't know, some sort of like little olive branch.
Yeah.
That could be, maybe it's not literally exactly what I just said, but I feel like there's some things in there and that could have a little bit of, you know, acquiescence. And I feel like the response was kind of just like, because I said so.
Yeah, well, maybe the thing is like they're not actually maybe I to walk back by like, oh, like she's just 14. Maybe that's what the parents are thinking, thus are not trying to understand like what her internal discourse is.
Yeah. And I think two things can be true at once. It can be totally unacceptable to just completely freak out on someone for reaching for a bottle of ketchup that you moved in the first place. And also true that it's like, hey, she's going through a tough time. What's something we could do to kind of make her feel a little more seen?
Why is she moving the ketchup bottle?
Why is she moving the ketchup bottle?
I want to know what motivates that. Let's peer into this little head and understand what's going on. What's going on inside her head?
That's right.
Just a
Riley
Inside Out. Riley Inside Out.
So many great kids movie references today.
Yeah.
I got something to show you guys.
Show me.
And what is that?
Michael Bay's Skibbity Toilet movie production company has apparently sent DMCA takedowns to Gary. I don't know what does this mean?
He's just making a movie out of Skibbity Toilet.
Which, by the way, our close friend Jack Gordon had told us about. He was the one who told us about the Michael Bay Skibbity Toilet collab.
Did hear about that. They're making a movie
and a TV series
about Skibbity Toilet?
Dude.
Yep.
How?
Okay, if Skibbity Toilet can have a movie and TV show, how can there not be a TV series and movie for OK?
Because Gen Alpha, my girlfriend works with kids, and a lot of these kids say, do you believe in Skibbity?
What does that mean?
Exactly. It's captivated by them. They understand it. Thus, we're going to give them what they want. This is how you connect with the younger kids these days.
This is probably actually...
By believing in Skibbity?
Are you guys ready for this? I'm about to tie this back to the story. We go to the team, and we're like, listen up, kid. I am going to call Michael Bay himself and figure out how to get you into the earliest Skibbity movie screening I possibly can. All right? Listen, I know that's what you care about.
All the kids care about it.
I'm not trying to goon the gat of excitement here, but listen, I will do my darndest to get Michael Bay on the phone and get you in the first screening I can. And that's my olive branch to you.
Well, what if you don't get it?
With Skibbity Toilet, it's like a shorts on YouTube Shorts. You know that, right?
What?
It's like the Skibbity Toilet are fighting the cameraman, and that's like
I know that.
That's like the storyline?
Yeah.
I know about that storyline. Come on, do you think I haven't watched all 64 parts of Skibbity Toilet? There's more now. I think it's like 100 or something.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
good.
dude, you're washed, bro. Only on part 64?
I've watched.
Wow.
How many have you watched? Enough. But you know what is never enough?
Oh, what?
Reading these stories.
Yeah, give me part 100 of that.
Yeah.
There we go.
We got another app. So,
Riley, we have to stop the episode right now to talk about something.
Oh, no.
There are 126,000 people that are starving for good content.
I know those people.
They're subscribed to our channel.
Yeah, those people.
However, tragically, they do not have a membership to see all of our members exclusive live stream.
Are you serious? So you're saying 126,000 people aren't seeing our members only content?
That's right, but there is a solution to cure this tragic plague.
Tell us, don't wait.
You can get our members only streams on Mondays and Fridays by becoming a member.
Yeah.
And join us during the episode recording stream where we record our episodes in advance and you get to be immortalized in the content. Just click the join button down here on the YouTube video or the link in the description. Let's get back to it.
I ruined family therapy by telling my dad he was a bad parent. My 18 female mom, oh man, my 18 female mom died when I was 7.
Tone shift.
Tone shift.
Tone shift.
Damn,
Let's
that
try it
sucks.
again.
All right. Take 2.
Take 2.
My 18 female.
Look at this guy.
My 18 female mom died when I was 7.
There we go.
My father, if they do that out of context and just keep there you go. My father, aka step siblings, dad, remarried a year later. His new wife had 3 kids: A, 8 male, B, 6 male, C, 3 female. We're giving these real names.
Oh, yeah.
Albert. Fine. No, Albert. Albert, Boomer, and Cassandra. Albert, Boomer, and Cassandra.
Love it.
He said she wanted a dad for her kids and he wanted a mom for me. I remember telling him I didn't want a new mom. He said I would understand later. My step-sibling's dad basically stopped doing anything alone with me. No more camping nights in the backyard or movie nights, which we had done every week for years. Nothing. He spent time with all his new kids to bond. It's been 11 years and he still doesn't have time for me because he's bonding with them. Sounds like he's just trying to bond with new mom. He stopped coming to my games when I got to high school. Also, this comes from HumanDog1732 on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. Submit your stories there. So his wife and I have nothing in common. I play 3 sports and I'm on the speech team. She's very girly and likes girly trips to buy clothes and makeup at different malls. She knows I don't want to go, but just tells my step-siblings' dad that she invited me. I have a teammate I play 2 sports with. Her parents have become like my own. She said she is totally fine with it. I've made sure to ask all the time because I don't want to take someone else's parents. But she's always the one to invite me over, brings her parents to my swim meets because she knows no one will be there for me.
Oh my God, dude.
Invited me to go to shopping for Mother/Father's Day gifts and says they are both for us. Her parents get me holiday gifts and say I'm always welcome.
W freaking parents and friend. That is biggest W of all time.
L for the original parents.
Yep.
Senior
well, not
night.
the deceased one.
Not the deceased. Well, maybe. I don't know. We don't know if they're bad or not. They could be not good.
I guess you're technically right.
Yeah, we don't know anything. Why would you assume they're good because they're dead?
Look at me. Making an ass of you and me.
Silly goose.
Here I am.
Senior night at basketball. I told her my step-sibling's dad isn't going to walk me around the floor because he doesn't even bother coming to games. She asked her dad to walk both of us, and he was happy to. In a small town, that made the paper because they thought it was sweet. My step-sibling's dad flipped out and took us all to therapy. He asked why he hadn't been asked. I said because he didn't come to games. He said he didn't know I played basketball anymore, which is a red flag.
That's part of the problem, boy.
Exactly. I asked if that's why he didn't come to swimming or softball when he couldn't miss Albert or Boomer's practices, or come to speech meets when he went to Cassandra's dance recitals. He just stared at me and said he didn't know I still did those either. I asked why he talked for days about Boomer's camping trip, but didn't ask about my senior trip to Mexico. He said he didn't know I went. I said he signed the form. He admitted he didn't read it. I asked if he remembered the last time I called him dad. He said he didn't know I stopped. I said May 13th, 2021 as a date.
Probably
Bro.
a time too.
If this was a court and OP was, you know, grilling him, guilty, locked away.
Mhm.
This is a like, OP might have a future as a lawyer, because wow,
OP's got mental receipts.
got the chops.
Mental receipts. He said that was the day Albert, Boomer, and Cassandra started. I said, I know. You stopped being my dad when you started being theirs. I walked out of therapy. And we have an edit. We have an update. We have relevant comments, and we have another thick, juicy update. Before we get into that,
Yes.
is OP the a-hole for walking out of family therapy and basically throwing down that knowledge?
Honestly, even do we know OP's age? I'm assuming teenager.
OP's 18.
18. Okay, OP's 18. OP literally just laid out the receipts and let them speak
Yeah.
for themselves. There was no like over dramatic yelling, all of this stuff. I think OP communicated it in a way, and Anthony was saying earlier too, that sometimes you kind of like need to say something a certain way, not necessarily like yelling or whatever, but you kind of got to be just like super direct
Yeah.
and straightforward. I think OP was super direct and straightforward without crossing the
Yeah.
line of becoming like an a-hole.
Yeah, there was no yelling involved. And also, if there's anywhere to come clean, it is family therapy. So I feel like it was the right context. It wasn't in front of a bunch of people,
Another great point.
in terms of in public. It was the right context. It was the right delivery. I feel like there is no way OP is an a-hole here. The dad, on the other
Dude.
hand, the fact that he didn't know any of the sports that she was doing, didn't know anything about her life at all, like incredible red flag.
Dude,
Just
so
stark
bad.
red flag.
So bad.
So bad.
And also that he only took everyone to like, I think in his mind, he's like, oh, I'm going to take her to therapy and, you know, show her for making this whole public showcase of like making me look like a bad dad. It's like, you literally did this to yourself.
Exactly. And it was like he was such a bad father that another set of parents had to step in and do all of the parental things that he hadn't been doing. And it's like, you know, those stories where it's like, the janitor had kidney failure, so the whole school got together and like raised money, and it's like,
Right.
oh, that's so cute, but it also is a sign that our like the American like healthcare system is so unequivocally broken.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, oh, it's such a cute thing that like these parents walked the OP down the for the sports thing. But it's just an indicator of how broken the familial dynamic that OP has is.
That is so
Dude,
true.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were gonna take a turn with the janitor story because it happened in my school where they dedicated the yearbook to the janitor, and later, like before and later that year, the janitor like squeezed the butt of one of the like cheerleaders. It was so bad.
Oh my God.
So like they had to keep
Were
him
you
in there.
expecting me to know that story?
I thought that's where you were going. I was like, no way he knows that
You're
story.
like, you did some Nardwar level, like deep journalism to bring this up in OK Storytime segment.
No.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
my gosh.
Like they get him all together, it's happy, and it turns out he's a bad person. I thought that's where that was going.
No.
Okay.
But I'm sorry for that cheerleader. That sucks.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, awful. I had an OK Storytime, but I don't know if I want to share it anymore. Maybe I'll share it at the end. But what do we got?
We got some updates.
Okay.
Edit. So,
Yes.
edit. I played all 3 of those sports since I was a toddler, so I'm not sure why he thought I stopped. He never asked why I came home a couple hours after practice or went out on weekends for game days. When I talked about games, he said, I thought I was just playing with friends because all my friends play. My update got deleted, but basically I'm getting some info on my trust and belongings I paid for. My friend's dad tried to confront my step-sibling's dad about why I can't go over anymore, but he just shut the door on him, and I check in daily with my friend or her parents via phone. My step-siblings are all mad at both their parents and are being very supportive. The verdict from Reddit is not the a-hole. We got some relevant comments. So, OP on explaining to her father how she feels about him and her friend's family. At the moment, I'm more angry that I have to miss practices for therapy and that I'm no longer allowed over to my friend's house because they're a bad influence. I'm happy he found his new family and I found mine. I'd be content with going no contact with them to have my real family back. I miss them so much. When I told him I felt like I lost my family, he cried and said he understood, then got mad and yelled at me when I told him I meant the family I had for the last few years, not him.
Bro. Dude. And I mean, like, dude, salute OP for being so very communicating, I think.
Extremely direct.
Extremely direct and not intentionally vindictively at all.
Or at least, like, I mean, even if it was vindictive, I mean, I could see like some of these setups being crafted to like cause a little bit of pain, but I think it's necessary at this point.
Yes.
Like I think this is where it's come to.
It's as close to kind of reading the facts as possible.
Yeah.
And the facts are just awful.
Yeah. She's not trying to sugarcoat it.
No. Yes.
Yeah. And Jellybus says she's very good at communicating for 18. Lily X Pilly says brutal. So, how does he not know she still does sports? I paid for the sports registration and equipment out of the trust my mom left me. I just had to go to the bank and write out a request, and the next day I'd pick up the money. He said if I wanted him there, I should have given a schedule. I told him that I don't understand why he would think I would just stop playing all the sports I had played since I was a toddler and that he didn't get schedules from my step-siblings. He got them himself. Then he just got mad and walked out. He's being confronted with all of this stuff.
Dude.
Like, finally. How did her dad not know she went to Mexico? And how did OP get a passport without a parent?
True.
I had a form signed at the beginning of the year for numbers planning for the teacher. I was 17. I got my passport after my birthday before the trip and paid for it out of my mom's trust fund. He knew I went on a trip, but didn't know where to. And OP says, I'll probably do an update soon, but basically I'm not allowed to go to my friend's house anymore because he thinks the parents are a bad influence. He says, I never told him anything about what I did, so he shouldn't be expected to know. You weren't curious enough to ask. You know, his wife says she just wanted a dad for her kids and it isn't her fault, which is true. My step siblings have been nice and said they thought he knew about my games and would be totally okay with him skipping theirs to come to my remaining games. They have been more mad at him than anything else and told him if he can't go to mine, then he doesn't need to go to theirs. And he said that they were being brats, but they don't care. And there is a big, fat, juicy update. But it sounds like the dad is doing everything he can to ingratiate himself to his new wife.
Yeah. It is just so tragic. Also, the friend's parents, that is like the type of parent I will aspire.
Yeah.
Because that to me is chef's kiss.
Yeah, get all the kids.
Yeah.
And be kind to them, you know.
I hope.
Adopt the latchkey kids.
Yeah, adopt the latchkey kids. I kind of hope maybe that there's an awakening and there can be some sort of reconciliation. Alternatively, I think what OP said of like, OP's like, hey, look, I'm not even mad for you to go off and like have your family, but I just want to go back to the people that have actually been family to me and go no contact so I just don't have to deal with this mess.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of super fair.
Yeah. Well, I think OP is incredibly independent. Like,
yes.
OP is independent financially and emotionally.
Yeah.
And so I think like, I don't even know, like, I don't know if there's anything the dad can do. I think it is unless he says, I now realize how terrible I've been treating you. I don't expect you to forgive me right now, but I will work to prove that I care about you and rebuild trust. And I know it may take years, but I'm willing to start if you can give me another chance. I think that's the only thing that he can say. And if she chooses to not give him another chance, then that's, up to her.
And it is what it is. You did nothing less than that level of an apology.
Yeah. But there is an update.
There's an update. Goodness.
So 4 days later, update because a lot of people were worried about me not being able to get my things from my bio father's house and going back to therapy. Turns out it's not even yet necessary. After my last post, my stepmother wanted us all to go to the lake house. That's her happy place, safe space, sanctuary, she says, and it's her answer to everything. She wants the boys out. She sends my bio father and her sons to the lake house. Time with daughter, lake house, time alone, lake house by herself. She does photography there, and she's right. It does look like a postcard, 2-story cabin style. They never took me for the girls' trips or boys' trips, only when everyone went together. So my step siblings won't call bio father dad anymore. My stepmom says, if he isn't their dad and she isn't my mom, why are they even married?
Shut up.
My bio father asked if she wanted a divorce, and she said she didn't sign up for the drama. They argued, and we went to hang out by the lake. We've been getting along great now against the parents, which I didn't see coming. I guess like the step siblings
have joined after that whole thing. They were like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
We're riding with you. F dad.
Anyway, we went back to therapy yesterday, and my stepsis brought up that they are getting divorced. The bio father said if they can work it out in therapy. Therapist asked if it could be amicable because it's obvious that they're cold to each other. Stepmom said her kids could see bio father, but she would just want her place. He said that wasn't possible because it's actually mine because my mom had it before they were married and it's part of the prenup.
Let's freaking go. So does that mean the house was passed down to OP via the trust?
I believe so. Stepmom was livid and ugly cried, mad all the way home, then asked about the house we live in. My bio father tried to get her out of the kitchen, but she screamed, and he admitted that my grandpa gave it to my mom as a wedding gift before they were married.
Let's go.
Turns out he won't let me move out because the house is actually mine since I turned 18. So OP owns the house.
OP can kick them out.
She split the savings because they had been living way below their means. He told her most of the savings / certificates of deposits were accounts set up for me by mom's parents. She has been crying in her room and says I'm selfish for not letting her have the lake house my great grandpa built and gave to my grandpa, who gave it to my mom. And we have a relevant comment and some updates from OP. It's a short but very juicy update. But also, you can see us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. So just tap our profile. But really quick, before we get to the grand finale of this story,
please.
I believe what's happened is OP owns both the lake house and the actual house, plus a trust that the mom left. So OP kind of owns everything.
Everything.
And the dad and the stepmom own nothing. And it seems like the stepkids are on OP's side.
Mm-hmm.
And the stepmom and stepdad, or stepmom and bio dad, are fighting with each other. And the stepmom wants to leave. The bio dad wants to stay, but all the kids hate them. And it seems like the family's kind of imploding.
Dad is about to take the fattest L of any family splitting in at least Storytime history and probably in the history of the space-time continuum.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get worse than he spent all these years let me buddy up to the kids and like basically pretend my own biological child doesn't exist just to, get in with the mom. Now the mom doesn't want him. The stepkids don't want him. He doesn't have any of the houses, and Opie's got the trust fund, both the houses. Wow.
Kind of sweet.
Justice.
Kind of beautiful.
Justice is being served.
But we do have final comment to close out this story. So Wild Black Hat says, what in the world? So she never put a cent towards those and somehow never asked herself in all those years how the assets would be split in the event of a divorce. OP responds, I doubt she ever thought about divorce until last week. Everything kind of exploded. Since they don't have a prenup, she probably thought she would get half of everything.
Well, she will get half of everything, which is nothing because he
Fat
ain't owned
zero.
that.
Fat
He owns
zero.
Zero.
Yeah.
Dude. What a satisfying
Satisfying.
story.
And it's just nice when bad people get their comeuppance.
And you know, like OP, like if any 18-year-old is to inherit, you know, a lake house, a main house, a trust fund, all this stuff, it should be someone like OP.
Yeah, because OP has basically been living independently for the last like few years. And so it seems like OP has a pretty good head on their shoulders.
And the juxtaposition of the last story where it was like, you know, of the teen like moving the ketchup bottle around just to like be able to yell at someone.
Yeah.
Versus like, hey, look, OP wasn't even vindictive. OP was like, listen, you can go have your life with your family. Mazel tov. Go ahead. All I want is to just have my family and my life and my peace. That's all I want. And you can go off, be happy with the people that screwed me out of a late childhood.
Yeah.
I don't even care. That's big. That's the high road right there.
But that's where that story ends.
Wow. And is that where this episode ends? Nope. Just kidding. I fooled you. But there is a big change that's about to happen. A seismic shift in activity that no one saw coming.
No one saw.
I'm leaving. The time has come. This is the couch video. The time has come where I can't do this anymore, Sam.
Oh man.
I could not stand another second being here in this seat. So I have to leave you
Please skedaddle.
immediately because Sophia's going to take my place. Ladies
Get
and
over
gentlemen, yeah, the other way. Give a warm round of applause for your Worm Queen,
Worm Queen.
and producer
What's that?
Anthony.
A little.
Hello.
Hello, Sophia.
I'm back. I have a
she's-
car. It's got a tire.
Does it smell nice?
No, they didn't clean my car.
No, I mean the tires. Do the tires
I didn't
smell
smell them. I didn't do anything. I just went, I got a cookie
nice?
from
Oh,
Whole Foods.
delicious.
And then I got gas after I paid for my tires. 'Cause
Fun.
that was the whole point of my drive.
Night trip. Do you know what happened to the tire? Like why it exploded all of a sudden?
No. Well, when I was driving, I think I must have like gone over some sort of nail or bottle or whatever. And then I heard it like in my tire, like it was like, and I was like, that's not good. And I was like, maybe it'll stop doing that. And so I kept going, and then it went, poof. And I was like, oh no. But I was right around the corner from the gas station. So
Which luckily wasn't on like the freeway or something.
yeah. That would have sucked.
Yeah. I do love a new tire smell. I talked about it with the guy. I was sniffing tires this morning.
Yeah, Sam was like, I don't know, you were weird in the tire shop.
I was weird in
He
the
was
tire
like-
shop.
It's funny.
I was like, do you ever smell the tires? And he's like, I've lost the scent of tires. I smell them all day. I don't know what a tire smells like anymore.
All right, let's get into it. My mom just got surgery and she's upset that I was complaining about my pain. For context, my mom and I didn't have a good relationship when I was younger due to some personal reasons on her part. One being her pain. When she is in pain, she is snappy and irritated, which is perfectly understandable. However, it was tough to get along with her. Once I became an adult, we got along pretty well, even though we have different views in life. By the way, this comes from, say it one more time,
It comes from, I just quit out of the vein.
Mothcat.
Mothcat216.
Yes. So if you're here, make yourself known. Anyway, to the story. My first job was a small family business full of drama and favoritism and the food safety. It was a mess. But in my 3 years of working there, I felt no back pain. Fast forward to when I got my first car. I realized they weren't going to pay me what I was worth, and they didn't care if they went on vacation, stranding their employees for 2 weeks with no income. So I said enough was enough. I looked for a new job and I was hired by a big company. Oh, you know, big company.
Oh, we love big company.
I like
niche industry.
I like working at big company. The employees are amazing and they pay me enough to manage pay for my car insurance, car payment, and help my parents with groceries. While working the first 6 months, I felt no pain in my back. In fact, I felt great.
Good. I'm glad that you felt no pain in your back.
The thing is, though, you keep emphasizing that you felt no pain in your back. And so now I'm thinking that you're gonna feel pain in your back.
Gonna blow your back out.
Oh, maybe not that.
Why? I feel like that's what we're saying could happen.
Anyway, since my job is physically demanding, I have gotten fit and lost 25 pounds. Look at you go.
Let's go. Looking good.
I was feeling great in my body for the most part until I was supposed to close one night and all of a sudden I felt the need to pop my back. I go to pop it. Nothing happens.
Blow your back in.
My mind tells me there's something wrong. Through the next hour of lifting and pulling, my back begins to hurt more and more. It got so bad I was holding back tears. Oh no. I asked my boss if I could leave early and he said sure. The next morning I wake up and ask my mom if she can put something on my back to help me. She agreed, and when she lifted my shirt, she called for my dad and he silently confirmed he saw a curvature. Oh my God.
Does that mean scoliosis?
I don't think so. I think it's something, I think in this instance, it's like something how they tweaked their back.
Oh.
So, that's what it's, that's
you know
what
what
I'm
they
reading.
need? You know that one scene in The Incredibles where he's fighting the robot?
Oh, and it stretches him.
It's
And he
like,
goes, and then he's super fit. Yeah, he's super fit.
and then he's like, oh yeah. And then,
Yeah.
then he fights the robot and gets
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's what you need, OP.
That's what you need. You need a giant robot,
giant
to
robot.
try to tear you apart.
I went to the doctor the next day with my mom and got x-rays done. They confirmed I had 2 curvatures in my lower back. I was devastated and I became depressed. I felt my life plans were ruined. I could no longer enjoy roller coasters. I couldn't bring myself to have children anymore. I was already scared of giving them all of my mental illnesses. And now this. I was scared that nothing would work. I know how hard it is to get medicine for this, and I was scared of having to turn to drastic measures. Everything was going through my mind, but thankfully, my best friend was there for me to calm down. Because my mom's surgery, I need to bring in more money, which means more hours. I need to bring home enough money to support myself, my parents, and Minor. This would cause me to have a flare-up every week. Ugh. And it seems like OP has somewhat of a physical job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, yeah.
Which means she probably can't move her job, but like maybe what she can do is get like some
Workers'
benefits.
comp?
Yeah.
Well, if it happened at your job, I feel like you could definitely get workers' comp.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, if it happened at work. After my mom came home from the hospital, I messaged her about my back and how it hurt. My mom's response was, honey, you have a long time before it hurts so bad that you're crying every day.
See that? Like we shouldn't want to get to that point. I feel like that person's like, you have it easy. Not until you're literally in tears every moment, every day should you really get that fixed.
Yeah, she's like, it doesn't even mean anything until it's there at that point.
Yeah. I hate that argument. Only until you're suffering as much as me shall you take care of this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like my dog passed away. I'm sad, and they're like,
well it's like my grandma
did
passed
you
away.
lose everyone?
Yeah.
Like it's not.
You know there are other dogs.
Yeah.
Did all the dogs disappear? Then stop crying.
It's not a freaking competition.
Well, it is. It's the
And
Pain
you're
Olympics.
losing. I just told her to forget about it, and that made her upset. The whole interaction made me want to break down right there in front of everyone and cry. I know this may look like a cry for attention or sympathy. It's not. I just need to know if I'm in the wrong here. A lot of people on one of the lives said not the a-hole, but now that the rest of the information is here, I need to know, am I the a-hole? And there's 2 relevant comments to finish this story off. Seathel's Mercy says, not the a-hole, your pain is valid. I also endure chronic pain and work a physically demanding job. Wouldn't trade it for the world, but some days are harder than others. Your pain is due to an actual physical and visible condition that your mother saw with her own eyes. I think it sucks that you have to support your family instead of living your life freely. What's stopping you from moving out? Familial obligation? And OP responds, money, honestly. I don't have the funds to afford my own place. My goal right now is to pay off my car loan so I can take out a bigger loan and buy my own place where me and my friend will room together. Definitely not the a-hole.
No, not the a-hole at all.
Yeah. No.
Sucks that you're going through all of this, though.
Yeah.
And this is part of the OK fam.
Yeah. I
This
think
is a real one.
it's kind of ridiculous that you're supporting your family and specifically, like, your mom, and she's not supporting you and your pain.
Yeah.
I think OP said they were working to pay for the mom's surgery.
Yeah, like OP is trying their best to help
Yeah.
in any way. And if anyone should understand about like the pain and health issues, I feel like it would be the mom.
I would hope
obviously
that you
not.
could bond. I mean, it's kind of a sucky thing to bond over, but
Where's your empathy?
come on. Mindful Worm Peasant says, I have chronic nerve pain. I stopped talking about it because I was sick of being told I'm too young to feel real pain.
Dang.
Whenever people say, "Oh, wait until you're my age," that's
I'm
when you'll
like,
feel
I don't
pain.
want
Yeah.
to get to that
Like,
age.
no, like I had chronic, well, maybe not chronic, but for like 2 years I had really bad hand pain.
You couldn't write.
And they were like, "Oh, you're fine." I was like, "No,
Get over it. Just cut off your hands.
just get new hands."
Yeah, when you have hands as old as mine, then you can complain.
Yeah, but your hands are so young and spry.
I remember when I had all my fingers. At least you have all your fingers.
What's the lore on this guy?
He's an old captain that has been beating like whales for generations, and then one day, that whale ate it.
whales fought back
Took his fingers.
with their flippers.
And then he got a taste for human flesh, and now he's been after my blood ever since.
And that's the story of Moby Dick.
No.
No?
The story of me.
Kimberly finds this honestly not even just the lack of support. Just don't add to OP's circumstance at the bare minimum. Yeah.
It's the bare minimum. The simple bare minimum.
BB Mean says, that's horrible. OP is turning to her mom like any child would. When you're turning to your mom, you're looking for compassion, sympathy, and comfort from the person you're supposed to be guaranteed them.
Mhm.
Yes, but that is the end of the story.
And the episode.
And the end, and the end of the episode.
So, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you and
And see you tomorrow.